It's 5 a.m. and you're a security guard at the scariest pizzeria. You hear footsteps coming down the hallway. Quickly, you check the cameras, but none of the animatronics are on their stage. So, you look at the doorway and you see a 7-foot bear staring right at you. He's about to come in, but suddenly, your shift is over. What started as a small indie game turned into a worldwide sensation as Five Nights at Freddy's, FNAF for short, captivated audiences with its suspenseful gameplay, mysterious lore, and devoted fanbase. So let's talk about the origins of FNAF. The creator, Scott Cawthon, is a faithful Christian man who made faith-based children's games. According to an article published in October 2023 by journalist Callum Marsh of the New York Times, Scott Cawthon transitioned to making Five Nights at Freddy's because of his previously failed game Chipper and Sons Lumber Co., that got criticized for the characters being too scary. He's decided to double down and intentionally make a scary game, thus creating Five Nights at Freddy's on August 8, 2014. Now, the mechanics and gameplay of FNAF. In a GameSpot article published in October 2014, after FNAF's release, video game reviewer Justin Clark describes FNAF as a simple but effective horror game that relies on tension, limited gameplay, and of course, jump scares. Similarly, freelance writer Gab Hernandez says on a Dead Central article published in April 2024, the franchise made its name with what I like to call maintenance horror. This is a subgenre in which the fear stems from the player's ability to perform mundane tasks. It's also inspired developers to make games like Poppy Playtime and Bendy and the Ink Machine. So, you're in a security office with a camera system and a door on either side of you. Using the cameras and doors depletes your power supply. If you run out of power, Freddy will instantly kill you. And there are 4 animatronics in this restaurant. We got Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie the Bunny, Chica the Chicken, and Foxy the Fox. Each character's AI level gets increasingly higher the longer the night goes on and the more nights you play. When the animatronic gets to your door, you must shut it and wait for them to leave. Using the camera system will help you track where they are. That's why it's so important. And it also slows down their speed and when they get to you. Speaking of time, each hour is about 90 seconds, which makes a full night, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., about 9 minutes long. There's also technically 7 nights, despite the title being Five Nights at Freddy's. Although the 7th night is a custom night where you get to choose the AI difficulty of each character. So what's the cultural impact of FNAF, you may ask? Well, to answer that question, we gotta go all the way back to the era 2014 YouTube, where gaming was especially popular. From a Forbes article published in October 2023, journalist Dan D. Placido explains how creators like Markiplier, who FNAF fans deem the king of Five Nights at Freddy's, earn millions of views by reacting to FNAF, screaming into the camera, and hyping up the experience. These videos proved more effective than any marketing campaign. Scott also started releasing merchandise as early as December 2015. As of now, there are over 50 books, lots of plushies and clothing, and more. If you walk into a Walmart today, you are guaranteed to find FNAF merchandise, including the movies. This is the first movie, which was finally released 8 years after its announcement on October 2023. It was such a big success that they also released a second one, December 2025, and there's also a third one on the way. You may be wondering what's so interesting about a point-and-click horror game. Well, you gotta learn the lore, and I admit it gets a bit messy. The story of FNAF really boils down to the story of one man, William Afton, says Matthew Patrick, owner of the Game Theorist channel, in his YouTube video, FNAF, The Ultimate Timeline, posted in February 2023. The lore starts with the phone guy. He gives you tutorials each night and recordings, and he gives you tips and tricks on how to survive. He also mentions an incident called the Bite of 87, where an animatronic bit a child's frontal lobe off. We can see in posters that there are 5 kids missing in this restaurant, and we later learn that William Afton, the owner of Freddy's, puts on a yellow rabbit suit, lures the kids to the back, kills them, stuffs them into animatronics, making them haunted. We also find out that this is not the first Freddy's location. The first location is actually Fredbear's Family Diner, and this is where the yellow suit originated from. Unfortunately, this location shut down due to William's son getting bit by Fredbear himself. 4 years later, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, new and improved, opens up, shuts down a few weeks later because of the similar reason, the Bite of 87. Finally, the FNAF 1 location shuts down because of missing kids and safety concerns. Freddy's would be closed indefinitely after this because those 5 kids that William murdered in the back, well, they killed him too in the back and left his body to rot in that yellow suit for 30 years until someone decided to make a Fazbear Frights attraction, like a haunted house. And this thrived on the mysteries of Freddy's. It's also the location of the 3rd game, where you fend off one animatronic, Springtrap, which is the rotted William Afton corpse of the yellow rabbit, and he comes to kill you, and you spend 6 nights there. The place burns down, but you free the 5 children and however many more children he's killed. Sounds like a happy ending, right? Unfortunately, William Afton always comes back. That's literally his motto. And that's why there's 11 games in the series. Now let's recap, because that was a lot of info. Five Nights at Freddy's was made by a faithful Christian, Scott Cawthon. The simple mechanics somehow made the games even more terrifying, and YouTubers brought in more views, sales, and attention to this franchise. The lore of Freddy's kept the series going and the fan base happy. The simple game that Scott didn't have much hope on turned out to be a massive success that changed the horror gaming industry. Five Nights at Freddy's reminds us that the fear isn't always loud. It's quiet, watching, waiting. And by the time you notice it, it may already be too late.